So what is emotional horsemanship? I have a whole online course dedicated to emotional horsemanship where I describe this in great detail. And if you wanted to explore this in great detail, I suggest you sign up for that. That is a separate course. But I can give you a really straightforward introduction to emotional horsemanship now. Emotional horsemanship is a horse training method that prioritizes how horses feel before we prioritize what horses do. There are 3 pillars that underpin emotional horsemanship: science, empathy, and feel. And all these 3 pillars are really well interconnected with one another. Science gives us a really solid understanding of what is actually happening between a horse and a person in a horsemanship format, because through data-driven training protocols, we can improve the horse's experience, we can improve their ability to learn, and we can improve our ability to understand what is happening between us and our horses. Empathy allows us to not be so robotic with our horsemanship, because if we only focused on science, it might start to feel a little bit mechanical, a little bit experimental, and a little bit robotic to some people. Empathy allows us to feel what the horse is feeling, and that ties really well into the 3rd pillar, which is feel. All those old horsemanship masters that we all know and love, they all talked about something in training called feel, or the intangible element that almost has no words. And the most logical explanation for this is a horse's emotional state. And the most logical explanation for feel is, what do you feel? We can actually use feel as a language with horses, and this is what I specialize in teaching. So, emotional horsemanship prioritizes how horses feel before we prioritize what they do. The end result is, of course, a better behaved animal, but the animal feels good about what they're doing with us. And that's really, really important to me. If an animal enjoys their time with us, they're going to behave well for you absolutely every single time. But a well-behaved animal doesn't necessarily feel good about what they're doing if our focus wasn't on the horse's experience rather than what we wanted from the horse. In a nutshell, that is emotional horsemanship. Some of the techniques that I teach, they are unique to emotional horsemanship. These are techniques I have learned, discovered, and developed over the last 12 years, using myself, my horses, and my research and my clients to help me inform these discoveries. And some of the techniques you might already be familiar with, but we make a few subtle changes here and there that drastically improve how well the techniques actually function for us and how they function for the horse. In its essence, emotional horsemanship really focuses on building a spectacular bond between you and your horse. And this bond is not just so that you can hang out in the paddock and that they love on you, which is nice if they do, but also so that you can improve your horse's performance. We used to think that we had to choose between having a relationship path or a performance path in horsemanship. And my answer is, and my hope and my goal and my dream and my life's work is to present both. That through your relationship with the horse, through consensual training, through scientifically driven, empathy driven, feel driven training, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have a fantastic bond and relationship and connection to your horse, but also you and your horse can do a lot together. And that's really, really exciting. My main focus is on private horse owners and recreational horse owners and equestrian professionals, so other instructors, body workers, other trainers who are interested in augmenting or changing what they're doing in their programs. But I have worked with a whole variety of horse people, from dressage to western to jumping, but my primary focus is on private horse owners and for recreational horsemanship activities. Recreational means that the horse is there with the person for no other reason than for that person and horse's joy, pleasure, and hobby. I think there is no higher purpose for a horse or for a horse person to enjoy being with a horse and to devote your time in training and developing your horsemanship for pure pleasure and for pure joy. You are yourself a discipline-specific horse person, meaning that you have very specific end goals, either through competition, through agricultural demand, or through job for that animal, you are very, very welcome, because I will augment emotional horsemanship to fit your and your horse's needs. That is essentially what I'm doing. I never present my horse is here. I never present a program that you have to squeeze yourself into. My program is always malleable around the needs of the horse and the horse person. So that's a really basic summary of what emotional horsemanship is, and I'm really looking forward to presenting it to you in a practical reality very soon.